Charlie, who is your coach? Because I bet he's good.
I mean, this time next year, you could be watching this video and thinking, oof, world record holder. When I say like the fog dog, let's like bang his face, or a dog. What did Kipchoge say?
No human is limited.
Dare I say more?
Where are we?
Wimbledon Park track. Might just be called Wimbledon. Freshly laid surface, I believe.
Fast track, slow clock, am I right?
Yeah, trust me. If you know, you know about that. Anyway, this man's racing. Flip the camera. I'm just here on clock and coaching duties. Thought, you know, what, give back to the sport, give back to the main man. And yeah, perfect weather, ideal conditions. No excuses, Charlie. You got this, mate.
100%.
Hashtag believe.
Charlie, I told you, mate. Let's use the camera. Good, Charlie, mate. Great start. Work through a little bit, mate. Come on. Let's go, Charlie. Come on. Stay in there, mate. Plenty to pass. Come on. Race it. Let's go. Come on. Hey, wind it up. Race it now. Let's go. Come on. Let's go, Charlie. Yes, lads. Charlie, who is your coach? Because I bet he's good.
Oh, that's number one.
What a run, lad.
I'm number one.
Yes, mate. What a run. Well done, mate. That was class.
Well, that's Callum Elson. Must be coaching him.
You just raced it. I told you you've got to race sometimes. You don't think about it too much. Well done. Wait there. Charlie, run me through the events of the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, I came through like 73, 72 through the first four, so fast, and then came through halfway in like 225, which is 450 pace, and finished in 442, 43.
Mate, you were rolling at the
So
end.
600 to go, I felt amazing.
Talk to me about that celebration at the end. What were we saying?
Arms out,
Did you plan that? Where did that come from?
just surprised.
Raw emotion.
Mate, I'm absolutely buzzing.
Mate, that's class. What was your final time?
442, 443, put on the screen.
There you go. And what was your PB before?
451, almost 10 seconds.
10 seconds a mile. Keep going like that. You're 4 races away from sub 4. There you go.
Cheers,
Class,
lads.
mate. Hit the camera, mate. That's what they do.
Second in the race, just watched him celebrate. I thought, oh, well done to that guy. He came over. Why do you think he came second? They look fresh as well. All mine are dyed grey because I don't put them in the right wash.
I keep them for the special race.
Yeah, well done.
What's your name, mate?
Marcus.
Marcus. And what time do you run?
I think 4:33.
Solid.
That'll be 4:34. It
4:36.
definitely gets rounded up on this track. Yeah,
Nice to meet you, mate. Congrats.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
From that horrific hotel in Germany. He's actually an ingoing hair, I think.
Is this the intro to the video?
No, the intro to the video is, can you see the shine? That's because I come straight from a massage, so I've got oil on my legs. Anyway.
How was the massage, first off?
Yeah, world-class massage. Shout out Injury Active and Emma. Cheers, appreciate that. Yeah, lovely night for the Dave Clark Mile, which is a series of mile races, 12-mile races, starting from slow all the way to fast. Charlie behind the camera was racing in the 9th race, which I don't actually know what it was paced for, maybe like 440, something like that.
442.
Paced for 442.
Yeah,
and Charlie
221.
came through with the win in 443. So there you go, perfectly executed race. I recently raced last week in Germany, which Charlie unfortunately couldn't come to. I ran 3:38.67, so a PB for 1500.
We've got a bloke in the background who's walking through with a wheelbarrow over here.
Yeah, it's grassroots athletics. That's what we're about. And shout out the volunteers. All right. Yeah, ran 3:38.67 for 1500. Really pleased with that. Came 10th in the race, so that shows you how deep the race was.
Yeah, talk us through who was in the race as well, because it was pretty stacked.
Yeah, it was a crazy race. Adam Fogg won the race, so shout out to Adam, fellow YouTuber, the Fog Dog. You got to get on him. 3:35.7 he won it in. And then you had people like Edward Herrera, Eduardo, who's like a class 5k runner. He was dropped down for the 15. Casey Coma, don't know what we're calling him, but he's good. He's run 3:34. Put it that way.
Can we also just mention, after Manchester, you were absolutely buzzing about not losing to a kid from 2004.
Yeah.
How old is Cameron Myers?
Yeah. All right. So basically, this guy's a different level. All right. This guy's an enigma. Cameron Myers just turned 17, and he ran 3:36.1, which is a joke. And now he's just signed with Nike. So well done to him. Yeah, it was actually crazy. He was like, yeah, I've got to go back to school after this. So he just had to go back to Australia to go to school. So no, it was a great event in a place called Funkstart, which I'd never heard of. If I went again, I'd probably try and go for a limited amount of time, to be honest, rather than staying there for 2 days, just because there was nothing to do. But lovely, quaint town, lovely people, very hospitable. The track was really fast. The event was great in terms of like food, fans, music, beers, loads of people watching, and there was plenty of Brits actually. There's probably about 8 or 9 British males over the 800 or 1500 out there racing. So no, it was great, and to get a PB is like fantastic. In the last 3 races I've gone 340, 339, 338, so my trajectory's been really good, and now we're kind of moving into a stage where we've got 2 months of the season left. I need to kind of work out how much of it I'm going to race, when I'm going to have an enforced rest period, because obviously all of this racing is pretty intense, and then how that looks for building into the winter and some other kind of races that are on the horizon. And the spanner in the works this year is there's other things that I could potentially qualify for. So there's like the World Road Championships where they have a road mile that I might want to think about. There's obviously Eurocross in November that I might want to think about. So yeah, right now it's kind of a case of racing this week 800 metres in Watford, which we're going to make a whole nother video on, because it's 800, it's a different distance, a totally different experience for me, running with some great runners. And you know, like, yeah, I've done 2 800s in my life last year, and let's just say they weren't very enjoyable, so that's going to be fun. And then the week after that is the UK Championships, where I'll be doing the 1500, and yeah, that's kind of championship style racing, so times are irrelevant. It's just about trying to get to a final, then perform really well in a final if I can. And then after that, for the rest of July, it's a case of what races can I get into. There's a few that I'm kind of exchanging emails with and having conversations about whether I can get to them, can I get an entry and things like that. So yeah, the plan is July, run as fast, do UK champs, and then just try and run as fast as possible, maybe into the first couple of weeks of August, and then yeah, maybe have a little bit of downtime before I look at the World Road Trials. I don't know if they've got an official name, but it's at the Great North Run, basically. So yeah, things are good, moving in the right direction, enjoying it. It's been a good few weeks. I've been riding high off the PBs every week. You know, you turn up to work or to the track and you kind of like, yeah, there's a reason I'm doing this, because it's paying off.
How many weeks till the world record again?
Oh yeah, so by my calculations, I am 12 races
away from a 326.
Away from a 326, but El Guru's ran 326.00, so I might need the extra race to run 325.
So 13 races.
So 13 races.
Nice and lucky.
So yeah, I mean, this time next year, you could be watching this video and thinking, "Oof, world record holder." What did Kipchoge say?
No human is limited.
Dare I say more?
How do you feel this year in terms of confidence?
Yeah, it's really difficult one, and if you're not at the level where you've done a UK champs, or you've had friends, family, teammates that have done it, it can often seem like a very simple thing, right? It's like, oh, like you're one of the best in Britain, or you're in the top 20 or 30 or whatever, so like you should go there and like you'll do well. Or from the outside perspective, it seems like a pretty simple process. What is difficult about it is only a certain amount of people can qualify for one, so you know, you got to qualify. So I've done that, and then you know, there's only so many spots you can have on the track. It's not like you go to a British Champs for cross country where there's 500 guys trying to win it. So the problem, or I say problem, the challenge, which is what, you know, why athletics is fun ultimately, is 1500 metre running in Britain is like so deep. And rather than it being a race where people might turn up and they might not, if you want to run at the World Championships, unless your name's Jake Whiteman and you have an automatic spot, you have to come and run at this trial, otherwise you're not going to get selected. So if you've run under the qualifying time, which is 3:34.2 I think, or 3:34.4, something like that, then if you finish in the top 3 in the 1500 metre final, you will be selected and go to the World Champs. So for these professional athletes that are on contracts, for a lot of them, it's a massive financial incentive and an incentive for their own career and stuff to turn up, perform at their best in order to then qualify for a major championships. So there's, off the top of my head, I think there's 5 people right now that have the qualifying time to do that. So those guys are like guaranteed turn up, they have to mean business, and they're kind of in a level above me. It's very like obvious that that's a world-class level is what I'd say. The level below that is kind of people that have run 35, 36, 37, 38 all the way up to 40. I'd put those people all in one bracket, 335 to 340, maybe even 342, because the style of championship racing is very much, it's not necessarily who's the fittest, it's about your racing brain, it's about a bit of luck, it's about who you're drawn with in your heat, all those sorts of things. So I'm going into it thinking, I've run 3 seconds faster than this point last year. I went in with 3:41, But similarly, I'm very aware that there's other people that have run 3:39 or 3:40, people that have done the same PBs as me this year in terms of progression, who will be looking forward and going, actually, last year I just missed out on the final, so this year I really want to get to the final. Or, you know, I'm under no illusion that people who have run a couple of seconds slower than me will look at me and say, I could probably beat him. Because if they don't, you'd be a rubbish athlete. In the same way that I look at people that have run 3:36 or 37, I think, you know what, I reckon I could ever go and beat him. That's athletics. So I don't know the finalised structure, but there's probably going to be 3 heats with, you know, 15 people in each, and only the top 3 people, plus a couple of extras, are going to make it through to the final. So that seems like quite a lot, but I've just told you that 5 people have already got this world-class time. So that's 5 spots you'd think, barring, you know, illness or injury, gone already. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm positive. I'm, you know, happy and ready to go. I have some slight, not doubts, I wouldn't say doubts, but like some slight anxieties about the fact I've not really had that many races in terms of, I've run good times, but like I said, I just ran 3:38 and I came 10th. I wasn't racing, you know, for a win or anything. So that's where I might get found out a little bit in terms of like, oh, should I have just gone out to some lower level races and tried to compete for first, second, thirds and got wins and stuff. But I trust myself that I know what I'm doing. I'm fitter than I was, I'm stronger than I was, and ultimately compared to last year, I'm not intimidated at all. I know what I'm doing, I know the track I'm going to, I know how the process works. I've sat in a call room, like all these things that athletes have done for years that only last year I was doing for the very first time. So being able to turn up and say, actually, you know, more people are looking at me this year thinking he might make the final than last year where it was like, oh, who's this guy making up the numbers, you know? So yeah, I'm excited for it. Hopefully I'll do well. The goal is to go there, run my best I can, try and make the final, and then once I'm in the final, it's like, you know, finish better than I did last year, which was 9th, right? So yeah, confident, happy, like excited for it. But of course, under absolutely no illusion about how hard it is and about the sort of calibre of runners. I'm 11th ranked in the UK right now, and 12 people are going to get to the final. So that shows you how close it is. So yeah, we'll see. It'll be a good video though, because the way that the content's going to be good, right? Because the way it's going to work with the seeding is obviously all the fast people don't get put in the same heat. So I'm almost guaranteed to be racing like a big name, you know? So that'll be good for the video,
You
won't
haven't
it?
worked in the creative industry when you're guaranteeing great content.
I am. Smash the like button for more good content.